What if everything you've been told about success is a carefully constructed lie? What if the very blueprint you've been following, the one society handed you with a smile, was designed not to elevate you, but to keep you exactly where you are? Before we expose this deception together, I need you to do something. If you're ready to break free from the mental chains that have been holding you back, hit that like button right now. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because what we're about to discuss will challenge everything you thought you knew about making it in this world. Share this with someone who needs to hear the truth, because after today, you'll never look at success the same way again. Now, let's begin. The illusion they sold you. From the moment you entered the education system, you were programmed. You sat in those classrooms, year after year, absorbing a very specific narrative about what success looks like. Get good grades. Go to a good college. Land a stable job. Climb the corporate ladder. Buy a house. Retire at 65. That's the dream, right? That's what winning looks like. But here's what they never told you: this path wasn't designed for your success. It was designed for your compliance. Think about it. Every institution you've passed through has reinforced the same message: follow the rules, stay in line, don't question the system, and you'll be rewarded. But look around you. How many people do you know who followed this exact blueprint and still feel empty? How many are 30, 40, 50 years into this journey and wondering why they feel so unfulfilled despite doing everything right? You've been taught that success is a ladder, and your job is to climb it one rung at a time. But what if that ladder is leaning against the wrong wall? What if you've been climbing your entire life only to reach the top and discover you're nowhere near where you actually wanted to be? The corporate trap. Let's talk about the biggest deception of all, the career path. You've been conditioned to believe that trading your time for money, 40 to 60 hours per week, for 40 years of your life, is normal. It's not normal. It's systematic exploitation dressed up as opportunity. You wake up at a time you didn't choose. You commute to a place you probably don't want to be. You spend the prime hours of your day building someone else's dream while your own dreams collect dust. You ask permission to take vacation, to leave early, to pursue your passions. And for this, you receive a salary, just enough to pay your bills, service your debt, and maybe, just maybe, afford a few luxuries that make you feel like all this sacrifice is worth it. But here's the truth they don't want you to know: you're not an employee. You're a revenue-generating asset on someone else's balance sheet. The moment you become too expensive, too old, or too redundant, you're replaceable. That job security you've been chasing, it's an illusion. That loyalty you've shown your employer, it's almost never reciprocated when the numbers don't add up. The system needs you to believe that your worth is tied to your productivity within their framework. It needs you to think that climbing the corporate hierarchy is the pinnacle of achievement. Because the moment you realize you could build something of your own, the moment you understand that your time and skills could be leveraged for your benefit rather than someone else's, the entire structure begins to crumble. The consumption cycle. Now let's examine how they keep you trapped. It's not just about the job, it's about what you do with the money you earn. You've been programmed to be a consumer, not a creator. You've been trained to believe that your worth as a person is reflected in what you own, what you wear, what you drive, where you vacation. Every advertisement you see is designed to make you feel inadequate with what you have. Every social media scroll reminds you of what you're missing. Every new iPhone release, every fashion trend, every luxury car commercial is selling you the same thing: the idea that happiness and success can be purchased. So what do? You work harder to buy more things. You take on debt to maintain an image. You lease the luxury car you can't afford. You finance the lifestyle that looks successful from the outside while you're drowning in stress and payments on the inside. You're running on a hamster wheel, working to pay for things you bought to make yourself feel successful because you're working so hard. Do you see the trap? They've convinced you that material accumulation equals achievement. But all those things you're buying aren't assets, they're anchors. They tie you to the very system that's exploiting you. Your car payment, your mortgage, your credit card debt, these aren't symbols of success. They're chains that ensure you'll keep showing up to that job you hate, keep tolerating that boss who disrespects you, keep sacrificing your time and your dreams because you need the paycheck to maintain the illusion. The time deception. Here's another truth bomb: you've been deceived about time itself. Society has taught you to think of time in terms of hours worked, years served, retirement age. But time isn't a resource to be traded, it's the most valuable asset you'll ever possess, and it's non-renewable. Every hour you spend in that meeting that could have been an email is an hour you'll never get back. Every weekend you're too exhausted to pursue your passion is gone forever. Every year you postpone your dreams while you build your career is a year stolen from the life you actually want to live. The greatest deception is making you believe that your time later will be more valuable than your time now. Work hard now, enjoy life later, they tell you. But what they don't mention is that later, you'll be older, possibly less healthy, potentially less capable of doing the things you dream about today. They're selling you a future that might never come at the cost of a present you're not living. And here's the cruelest part: when you finally reach retirement age, after giving the best years of your life to building someone else's empire, you'll likely discover that your pension isn't enough, your savings were depleted by life's unexpected expenses, and your body is too worn down to enjoy the freedom you waited decades to achieve. The education industrial complex. Let's go back to where this all started: your education. You were told that college is essential for success. That without that degree, you'd be left behind. So you or your parents took on crushing debt, tens, even hundreds of thousands of dollars, to get a piece of paper that supposedly validates your worth in the marketplace. But ask yourself, what did you really learn in college that prepared you for actual success? Not for employment, for success. Did they teach you about financial literacy? About building businesses? About negotiation, sales, marketing, leadership? Did they teach you how to think independently, how to question systems, how to create value in the world? For most of you, the answer is no. Instead, you spent 4 years being trained to be a better employee. You learned to meet deadlines, to regurgitate information on tests, to work within established frameworks. You emerged with debt and a degree that qualified you to enter the bottom rung of the very corporate ladder we discussed earlier. The education system isn't designed to create successful individuals. It's designed to create compliant workers. It teaches you to accept authority, to follow instructions, to value grades over actual learning, to compete with your peers rather than collaborate with them. It conditions you for a lifetime of employment, not a lifetime of achievement. What success actually looks like. So if everything you've been told is a lie, what's the truth? What does real success actually look like? Real success isn't about what you accumulate, it's about what you create. It's not about the job title on your business card but the impact you have on the world. It's not about the size of your house but the quality of your life within it. Success is having control over your time. It's waking up when your body is rested, not when your alarm demands. It's pursuing work that fulfills you, not work that merely pays your bills. It's building something that can grow without your constant presence, not trading hours for dollars until you're too exhausted to enjoy the dollars you've earned. Success is financial freedom, not wealth for the sake of consumption, but wealth that gives you options. It's having enough that money is no longer the primary factor in your decisions. It's being able to say no to opportunities that don't align with your values because you're not desperate for the paycheck. Success is growth, constant, never-ending improvement. It's becoming more capable, more knowledgeable, more skilled each year. It's the person you're becoming through your efforts, not just the external markers of achievement. Success is contribution, creating value for others, solving problems, making people's lives better in some way. Because here's a secret they definitely don't want you to know: the more value you create for others, the more wealth flows back to you. But you can't create real value when you're just another cog in someone else's machine. Breaking free from the matrix. So how do you escape this deception? How do you break free from a system that's been conditioning you since childhood? First, you wake up. You recognize the game for what it is. You understand that the traditional path isn't the only path, and for many people, it's not even a good path. You stop accepting conventional wisdom at face value and start questioning everything. Second, you reclaim your time. You audit your life ruthlessly. How much of your time is actually yours? How much is sold to an employer? How much is wasted on activities that don't serve your growth or happiness? Every hour you reclaim is an hour you can invest in building something better. Third, you educate yourself, really educate yourself. Not the education they sell in classrooms, but the practical knowledge that creates real-world results. Learn about money, about business, about psychology, about negotiation. Learn skills that translate directly into value creation. Read books written by people who've actually achieved what you want to achieve, not academics theorizing from ivory towers. Fourth, you start building. You create a side project. You develop a skill that could become a service. You build an audience. You create something, anything, that exists outside the traditional employment structure. Even if it fails, you're learning. Even if it's small, you're growing. You're becoming someone who creates rather than just consumes. Fifth, you eliminate the anchors. You audit your expenses. You sell the car you can't really afford. You downgrade the lifestyle that's keeping you trapped. You sacrifice the appearance of success for the reality of freedom. Every unnecessary expense you cut is another step toward autonomy. The real risk. Here's what's really dangerous, not the risk of trying and failing, but the risk of never trying at all. The risk of waking up at 50, 60, 70 years old and realizing you never actually lived your life, you just performed someone else's script for it. You've been taught that the safe path is the traditional path. Get the job. Stay employed. Don't rock the boat. But safety is an illusion. Your job can disappear tomorrow. The economy can shift. Your industry can become obsolete. There's no safety in dependence, only in capability. The real risk is spending decades building a life you don't want because you were too afraid to question whether there might be a better way. The real risk is sacrificing your potential at the altar of security, only to discover that security was never really guaranteed anyway. Your choice. Right now, at this very moment, you have a choice. You can close this video and go back to the comfortable lies. You can continue climbing the ladder society put in front of you. You can keep playing the game by their rules, hoping it will somehow work out differently for you than it has for millions of others. Or you can choose differently. You can choose to question everything. To value your time above all else. To start building something of your own, even while you're still trapped in the system. To educate yourself about money, business, and real value creation. To eliminate the unnecessary expenses that keep you dependent. To prioritize freedom over appearance. This isn't about becoming a millionaire or achieving some Instagram-worthy lifestyle. This is about reclaiming your life. About becoming the author of your own story rather than a character in someone else's. About pursuing work that fulfills you, relationships that enrich you, and a life that excites you. The system won't help you do this. Your employer won't encourage it. The advertisements won't support it. Because every person who breaks free from the traditional path is evidence that the path itself is optional. Every person who builds their own success outside the conventional framework threatens the framework itself. The path forward. So where do you start? Right here, right now. You start by making one small decision that moves you toward autonomy instead of dependence. Maybe it's learning a new skill today. Maybe it's cutting one unnecessary expense. Maybe it's starting that project you've been putting off. Maybe it's having an honest conversation with yourself about whether you're actually building the life you want or just the life you've been told to want. You don't have to quit your job tomorrow. You don't have to blow up your entire life. But you do have to start. You have to take that first step off the prescribed path and onto one of your own making. And yes, it will be uncomfortable. Yes, people will question you. Your friends might not understand. Your family might worry. Society will tell you you're being impractical, unrealistic, irresponsible. Because misery loves company, and the system needs you to stay in line. But here's what they won't tell you: on the other side of that discomfort is freedom. On the other side of those doubts is a life actually worth living. On the other side of their disapproval is your approval of yourself. The great deception of modern society about success isn't complicated. It's simply this: they convinced you that their definition of success should be yours. They convinced you that the path they laid out is the only path. They convinced you that your worth is determined by your productivity within their system. But you are not a resource to be extracted. You are not a cog in someone else's machine. You are not defined by your job title, your salary, or your ability to acquire material possessions. You are capable of creating value independently. You are capable of building something meaningful. You are capable of designing a life that serves your goals rather than serving theirs. The question is, will you? Will you have the courage to question the narrative? Will you have the strength to walk away from the comfort of conformity? Will you have the persistence to build something better, even when it's hard? Because that's what real success requires. Not compliance. Not comfort. But courage. The great deception has been exposed. You can't unsee what you now see. You can't unknow what you now know. What you do with this knowledge, how you respond to this truth, that's up to you. The world is waiting for the real you to show up. Not the version of you that fits neatly into their boxes, but the version of you that's been waiting for permission to break free. Consider this your permission. Now go build something extraordinary.